Welcome back to PSC Tech Bytes. This week I want to talk with you about the fresh new PnP Provisioning Service that has been released by the PnP Community Project, and I'm really proud of this new service. It is a provisioning as a service, I would say, because you can use this service to provision sites, site collections or hierarchy of sites, based on provisioning templates that you can search through a categorization that you have. Right now, the categories are samples and solutions. The samples come from the SharePoint lookbook samples, and the solutions are real-life solutions that you can use just to show the potential capabilities of SharePoint Online, or to learn how to create real solutions based on SharePoint Online. The PnP Provisioning Service requires you to log in with your tenant admin account, and pretty soon you will be also able to use this service with just a site collection admin account. And once you have done that, once you have logged in, you can provision a single site onto your target tenant, and eventually the site can be an already existing one that you want to update toward the latest version of a template. Or you can create a hierarchy of sites if you want to, for example, create a hub site with all of the sites that are part of this hub. So let me move to the demo environment and let me show you how the PnP Provisioning Service works from an end user perspective. This is the PnP Provisioning Service site, and here you can see there are a bunch of provisioning templates available. Some of them are highlighted, some others are just listed, and you can search by category. There are samples and there are solutions, as I told you. And once you want to provision one of those templates onto your target tenant, you will simply need to select the template that you want to provision. You can see what are the permissions required, and right now all of the templates require tenant admin permissions. You will see the description of the template, as well as some requirements for properly provisioning your tenant. For example, most of the provisioning templates require you to have an app catalog, and bear in mind that if you don't have one and you create an app catalog on the fly, it will still take up to 30 minutes to have the app catalog fully functional. So create the app catalog and come back after almost half an hour. Not trying to apply the template right after having created the app catalog, because you will most likely still fail. Once you have selected the target template, like this one for example, you click Add to your tenant. If it is the first time that you do that, you will be prompted with a request to consent to the multi-tenant application of the PnP Provisioning Service to access your tenant and to provision stuff on your tenant. I already did it for my own tenant, so I will not have it in this flow. But if it is the first time that you use the provisioning service, you will have to use an admin account and you will have to consent to the application to access your tenant. Then you will have to provide few settings, like for example the email address that you want to use to be notified of the completion of the provisioning, the title that you want to use for the site that will be created, and the relative URL of the tenant, as well as the whole URL of your website that will be created for provisioning the template that you selected. You can provide whatever name you like. For example, let's do that to try to have a unique URL. There will be a validation of the uniqueness of that URL, and if it is not unique, you can always apply the same template on an already existing site. Of course, you will need to be careful that you are applying the template on a proper target site and you are not scrambling content onto a target site which is already existing. You can select if you want to apply a custom theme, and you will have a bunch of custom themes that you can select from your tenant, or you can just use the out-of-the-box theme defined in the template. Once you are done, you click the provision button. You will have a recap of what will happen to your tenant and what will be created in your tenant, and if you confirm, after a while, usually between 5 and 10 minutes, you will have an email in your inbox informing you that your provisioning has been completed and that you can access your target site. In the meantime, you already have a recap here of what you selected as the value for your options, as well as the link of the site that will be created for you and provisioned for you. We will not wait for the whole provisioning right now, so let me skip the waiting and let me switch to the end of this process. Okay, I just got the email message which notifies me that the provisioning is now completed, as you can see. And now I can directly go to the site that has been provisioned by clicking on this link, or whatever. I can even go to the previous page and just click on this link to open in a new tab the site that has been created. And as you will see, this site is exactly what we saw in the preview documentation about the template that I selected. This is the Contoso drone landing with all of the content and all of the settings that we saw in the preview page while we were in the provisioning service site. Pretty easy and pretty simple. You search for a template, you add the template to your tenant, and you can use it to demo a specific functionality to your customers, or to play with some functionalities in your own tenant, and you can even play not only with samples but with solutions which can give you real functionalities like the custom learning or the SharePoint starter kit. As usual, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.